Hey Cancer, this is your general tarot reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of June. So that means for some of you, around June 21st, it's going to be your birthday time. So I'm going to have to do it. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Cancer, June babies. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday if this is your month, if this is your birthday month. It's the kind of kickoff of Cancer season from around the 21st onwards. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good, but you're going to need a lot of rest and a lot of focus on certain things, but we'll get to it. Let's do what we always do, Cancer. We'll shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come along. And in the meantime, we'll talk about these energies. So we're leaving behind May, still feeling that bloody Scorpio full moon. That was a biggie, wasn't it? I think everybody felt it very strongly. It gave us lots to think about, lots of truths, maybe things that were exposed or shown to us, revealed to us. And for you, that happened in your 5th house. For those of you with children, there might have been something that just came out of the blue that your child or children brought you that you had to really focus on and give it your all. And for others, the 5th house has a lot to do with love and romance. And maybe there was a bit of an ending to a honeymoon period between you and somebody else. That's also possible. Be it romantic or even just a friendship or something, or a business partnership. It's like, yeah, the honeymoon phase is over now. It's time to get to work. And it sure is. It's time to get to work. Now, for those of you also creating something, working hard on a project, developing something, even if it's a talent that you have, a skill or a hobby, you're still doing a little bit of hard work in the background, behind the scenes to, tweak little pieces, figure out how to make it better. There might have been a moment where you presented something, got up and did your thing, showed that beautiful talent of yours off. And it probably was a great success, but afterwards you're saying, I could have done that better. Here's how I could have done that better. Now let me sit and think more about how I could have done that better, right? So there's a lot of energy going into that type of thing. But we enter the month with the Sun in Gemini and Mercury, the intelligent part of ourselves, in Gemini. And for you, that sits in a very spiritual and private house, the 12th house. So this is very interesting because Mars at the same time is in Cancer. And Mars is saying, come on Cancer, stand up for yourself, push for yourself. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Just keep pumping iron, just keep going. So you're very driven and motivated to make something. This is why I'm wondering, is it something that you're creating or something that you're planning or organizing? You've a lot of enthusiasm to make the absolute best of it. So that's really good. A big push, a big move, a big change coming, and you've got all the energy to do it. Yet at the same time, the success seems to depend on what's not seen. So this is a tricky one. It's like subtle changes, subtle things. Say, for example, you want to change up your whole appearance before your birthday. You want to get your hair cut, you want to do different things, whatever. Change your style, buy a bunch of new clothes for your pre-birthday gift. There's an element here of wanting to be also subtle, determined to be more subtle. Maybe even in your expression now, how you approach others, how you speak to others, the first impression that you give to others. You want to give off this more healing vibe, subtle vibe, a gentle, caring vibe, which you're very, very good at. You can do that, but it's just a very gentle expression of yourself that wants to be shown at the moment, and also a very, an expression of I forgive. Is there something that needs to be forgiven, Cancer? Here, you know what the general vibe for me is this month for you? It's almost like you're letting something go even though you don't have all the information. Something does seem to be bothering you. Maybe with somebody else that you're working with, a partner, a friend, or some situation. It's like, I don't have all the answers. I'm digging deep. I feel that you're digging deep this month to find answers find deeper answers, even be inspired by spirit to say, well, I can't find the actual bits and pieces of information. Can you send them to me via spirit? But there is almost an obsession in some cases to know more. I am not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with what I've been told. I'm not satisfied with what somebody is telling me. I'm not satisfied maybe with how something ended, some fun relationship you had with somebody, something. I'm not happy with how it ended. Maybe this card is sometimes like social media or through SMS messages or kind of things done over the internet. Maybe you just said, I got a message and it's that thing, I'm not satisfied. I have to keep digging deep. I feel that people are telling me tall tales and people are exaggerating their experience of something. People are exaggerating their knowledge of something. There we go. People are exaggerating their knowledge of something. But I've always known that 1 + 1 = 2, but they're telling me something different. But they're very, very convincing. Should I challenge them or shouldn't I? Well, here's what I'd say to you. I'd say just pull back a little bit from that, because there's an aspect here, say around the full moon, where if you really start asserting yourself and your belief, saying, I don't believe you, you're telling me a tall tale, you're exaggerating the story and just spinning me a yarn like a fisherman's tale, I'm going to challenge this. Now, actually, that might not be a very good thing to do, because this person that you seem to be wanting to challenge or dig in and know more, I'm not satisfied, I've got to ask friends, ask people, I've got to get the truth, I've got to get the gossip, I've got to get the information. There seems to be this thing that if you do that and if you really push it around the time of the full moon, you could really be drawing somebody's wrath upon you. You could really be making an enemy, and somebody could come out and maybe even try to hurt you in some way. So there's a huge will, it's this thing of a huge will, a huge drive, a huge obsession to know the truth, because it's something just isn't sitting right with you. But push it too hard, Cancer, and you may not come out the best of it. And certainly around the time of the full moon, which 16th, 17th, 18th, push something too far or try to throw a little bit of a spanner in somebody else's works, perhaps. Not out of badness. I know you're not doing this out of badness. It's you sense something's not right and something has to be cleaned up and tidied up. But if you push it, you might not fare the better out of it. So just use this month observing, say, I see this, I know, I don't need all those pieces of information. I have to just trust that I already know inside me that something is not the whole truth, that something is not acceptable to me. I don't believe what they are telling me. And I'm just going to have to accept that this month and maybe wait till July, where there's eclipses and retrogrades and everything, just to see that play back out a little bit, where some valuable piece of information might come to you next month. So this is a month of just saying, let go, let go, let go, because it's going to be my birthday soon. I'm going to be starting my new astrological year. I'm not going to drag some of that shit into my new birthday year. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just trust the idea that I don't know, and I'm just going to have to sit with that and be okay. I don't know. I don't know the answers, but here's what I do know. I know Spirit always protects me. I know Spirit has my back. Neptune, the very highly spiritual one, going retrograde on June 21st, on the day of the solstice, when the sun goes into Cancer. You have to just trust that if there's some cloud or some illusion around this fisherman's tale, the tall tale, just watch. That news will eventually arrive on your door. What you've been looking for will come. Just don't push it this month, okay? But here's what you can push. You can certainly push anything that you're doing yourself, standing up, showing yourself off as being somebody who's very enthusiastic about the work you're doing or about your friendships, kind of seeing the brighter side. If there are shadier things happening, just turn your energy away from them and focus on the good people and the good things that you've got going on in your life. Good friends, your partner, good food, good anything. And good health, exercise, diet. Focus on getting all your energy going in there. Going out for walks in the evening, taking care that you're not eating like a huge piece of that cake or something, but you'll just have a bit. You're just taking care of your digestive system there also, because there is work to do this month and a lot of push. But if you can, as I said, it's just very important, Cancer, if you can just focus on the people and the things and the situations that are actively going somewhere, that are positive, and just say about the other stuff, I will accept this month that I don't have all the pieces of information, and I will not become obsessed with digging in and trying to find out what's really going on. Let it go. It will reveal itself maybe next month, okay? Now, June 3rd, you have the new moon in Gemini. Look, a Cancerian card. You have the new moon in Gemini in the 12th house, where you are maybe doing a lot of work behind the scenes, very focused again on being more subtle, very focused again on, even though you're pushing it ahead forward, you're treading lightly, you know? It's treading lightly on your feelings and other people's feelings too. That's very key here. This could be quite an emotional time. And like I said, it's this thing, Cancer, while you're very tempted to go in and say to people, bam, you lied to me, or this is not the truth, or you told me a half truth, or you didn't give me all the full version. It's very tempting. And I'm really pushing on this, Cancer, because if you do it, even though you might be right, it is still not the right thing to do. Go gently, walk gently this month, and give a lot of time, energy and focus into meditating, relaxing, spending time privately, working in silence. It's quiet, and healing, resting, letting go. As I said to you before, don't drag the shit of last year into your new astrological cycle. Just say, letting it go. And I'm going to be more enthusiastic about the positive things in my life. June 4th, Mercury, your intelligent mind, going into Cancer. So again, it's all about focusing on yourself more, Cancer. Putting your mind, your energy and your action into completing your tasks. And not being overly, almost obsessed, I'm feeling, with what other people are doing. If you work and you have competition, or people who are kind of running alongside you, or people who are doing weird things, you just focus on what you're doing, and that really wins the race here, Cancer. That's what the energy is properly, where the energy is properly used. But if you are also focused on really gaining a new level of spiritual understanding, this is such a month for that too. But there might be a lot of focusing, self-focus, focusing on me for a change, not focusing on other people, even though they might want you to constantly focus on them. You see, you are, say, a very maternal, male and female, quite a maternal character, where you like looking after other people. And now there comes a point where you might be run ragged because other people are getting used to this. They're used to you running around after them. So as you're pulling your energy in and focusing more on yourself and the work or the studies or whatever it is you're focused on, they might all get a little bit out of sorts and say, you're not paying attention to me. And you're saying, well, you're big and bold enough, can't you do it yourself? And that might not be something that you're used to doing. But you need that assertiveness. Mars, a fellow cardinal sign, another leader like you. Say Mars rules Aries, another leading energy like you, the warrior, saying, no, warrior says, put on your suit of armor and don't let anybody kind of infiltrate your energy or use your energy. Instead, use it to push ahead in everything that you're doing. So that's very key, very key. Now, Venus had been in the 11th house. You might have gotten some great fun or pleasure, say at the end of last month, doing things with a group of people, maybe a group of family, group of friends, maybe something you were doing on social media that just made you feel very good, made you feel very happy. Maybe some of the singles found love within a group of friends, or at least some good flirty vibes going on there. And some of you could have seen money happen for you, for those of you who work through a website, through buying and selling with e-commerce, anything like that. If you have a page that you have a business page on social media, you could have seen money come back there. If you work with a group or a team or within your community, anything like that, there could have been a few coin coming there. But now here's where I need to just give you a word of advice about money. Around June 9th, Venus moves into Gemini, into the 12th house. And it's so important here, Cancer, that you don't get all foolish or silly with your money. Don't get all spending on ridiculous things. And certainly, just promise me this month that you won't get drawn in to some sort of scam, that you won't purchase something and say, well, that was a whole lot of waste of money. Being sold things that you don't actually need. Being sold things and somebody just sells it like it's the next best thing ever. And you go in, you buy it, and then it's like, that was such a waste. I was so gullible. This is not a great month to be lending money to anybody either. If family or friends or somebody comes and says, you know, hey, can I borrow a couple of hundred from you? Not a great time, because you just might not see that money come back. I mean, if somebody comes to you and says, can you give me money, and you have it, consider it like a donation. Consider it like charity, because as I said, there is such a huge likelihood that if you do it, that's the end of it. So don't lose friendships or anything like that over this situation. Just be vigilant about that. But take care of your coin and do something else for me. Go through all your work documents, all your bills and things like that. Because you have the full moon in the 6th house where there are documents and things like that. Venus in the 12th house. You might see that you're overpaying for something. You're being overcharged for a utility bill. You're being overcharged on tax. You're being overcharged on, in various countries, you have different work taxes, you know, that you contribute every month in your salary. Just go back and double check that you're falling into the right contribution category and things like that, because you could be overpaying on something. You know, say if you use something for work and you have to subscribe to something every month that you use for work, like an app or a program, just see if there's an alternative here. Buy it this month? I don't know. I wouldn't. But just see wherever you can, where you might be drained of your resources that you hadn't noticed before, Cancer. So that's the general vibe of the energy. Just keep to yourself and don't be tempted to dig so deep that you draw the wrath of another person. It's like, I don't want another person to find out that you've been kind of looking for information about them. You know, that kind of a way, because that could turn all weird and wrong on you. And don't get stressed out by this month either, because there's a lot of work going on. A lot of work. And you might be very, you know, work. Just make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to relax. And don't overdo it with the stress. Don't overdo it with the gym. Don't overdo it with the exercise. Just be gentle. Be gentle. Now, Cancer, I'm going to choose a few cards here because we've only 7 pre-birthday cards for you. So let me just get a few more here, my love. You need to rest, recover a little bit, so that you're all refreshed and ready for your birthday. So let me get one more card. So we have them all there, Cancer. Let me go over to the, ta-da, the big grand overview, and we'll show you what's happening. So I see, as we go into the month, this is the energy of like information, gossip, things being said, things that are coming in bits and pieces, and sometimes half-truths. That's what I was saying, like the fisherman's tale. You just don't know what to believe anymore, and you don't know who to believe. It's a funny feeling I'm getting, Cancer, because it's like you want to believe the best in somebody. You're rooting for somebody to be a good person. That's what it feels like. You're willing, you're putting a huge amount of energy in and saying, I'm really doing my best here to try to see you in a good light. I'm doing my very best. But even though I'm trying to be generous in spirit in that way, I know you're spinning me that fisherman's tale. I know you're spinning me a yarn, because here's the Cancerian card sitting on the shore looking at all of this and saying, you're making a mess. Is somebody making a mess of, they could be an air sign, that's Libra, Aquarius or Gemini, making an absolute mess of their communication with you. And as I said, you're just saying, I'm going to hold out and trust that you'll do the right thing or say the right thing or tell me the truth. But really, when I listen to my intuition, when I listen to my spirit, when I'm sitting on my beautiful throne and my full power, holding my full power and gazing into my kind of emotional crystal ball, I call bullshit. So it's that thing, I see right through you, but I'm just hoping that you don't make me go in and call you out. I'm hoping that you'll stop with the nonsense, because it's like you are seeing them as very immature. Now it could actually be a child or a younger person than you, that you're being very patient. It doesn't have to be a child, but it's somebody. You're being very patient and saying, I'm going to sit this out, I'm going to trust that deep down under there that you'll click onto this and that you'll know that I see you. You'll know that I'm not falling for this. But I'm giving you space. But it seems the more rope I'm giving you, the more you're hanging yourself here with your insistence that you know better, or that you know it all, or that the lies you're telling me, or the half-truths, you think I'm buying it. I'm not buying it. But you do seem to have a great amount of affection for this person. So I don't think it's like somebody you're pitted against, like a rival, you know. It's more like somebody you do actually genuinely care about, but you're coming to the last nerve here, the last bit of your patience with them. Yeah. But what I do like, at least you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's a lovely quality that you have, Cancer. It seems that you're doing something beautiful. You're giving them space and saying, at some point, if you know that I love you, you will do better. You know, you'll do better. So that's quite caring. Again, that's quite a maternal energy, giving somebody space to do better. Will they do better? I don't think so, because I think around the time of June 16th, 17th, 18th, you'll have to try to go in and try to slap them. But that was the point of me saying don't do that, because you might lose some respect here from the other person, or you might lose some power in some way. It will not go to your favor if you really go all in and call somebody out on their bullshit. You just wait. Let them trip themselves up in some way. Now, of course, you must still defend yourself, not be fooled, not being drawn down weird roads by somebody, of course. But just pull back a little bit and let them trip themselves up. Because I do sense a kind of a curiosity, a kind of a, do you not know that I can see your bullshit? Don't you know? And other people have spotted it too. Aren't you even remotely aware of how obvious it is that you're spinning a yarn? And you're losing respect for this person as the month goes on. And you're wondering why they're not learning from this experience. But I tell you, Cancer, as it goes on, you're getting stronger by this. You're getting stronger. In some cases, you're getting stronger to separate yourself, as I said, from this person, this situation, that you've almost been obsessed, kind of obsessive care, obsessive hoping they'll do the right thing, obsessively watching them. You're moving away from that and getting stronger when you do that. It's a much healthier and stronger and empowering place for you to go into all the positive things, to focus on yourself. For some of you, there could be a real focus on getting some money together to do a bit of traveling, moving abroad, or even taking a long journey abroad, going someplace that has great meaning for you. So it could be going to a place where there are other friends or family members, to a place that it holds something for you in your heart, or vice versa. You could be coming home. So it's getting the coin together and being brave to make that move outwards to a place that seems to be making you happier. Yeah, maybe there's the energy of Leo, Sun, Moon or Ascendant involved there, kind of giving you the motivation or the push or the drive to go out and be more adventurous. Be more adventurous, but you are certainly feeling stronger. This is quite, it's a fiery card, and you do have Mars in Cancer. Mars is the ruler of Aries, who also rules this card. So you've got Leo and you've got that Martian kind of Aries style energy, all pushing you. And this is what I want to say. You make your decision. You focus on you, because that's where all the energy is trying to get you to do. Focus on you. And be okay with leaving that situation behind. It seems that that's what you should do, but it feels to me almost like having to peel yourself away from something. But you're very supported to move on. Very supported. And in some cases, I'd say that some of you do have a new project, that it takes a little bit of effort to start trusting that. You need the confidence, so it seems, to trust that. But here's two energy, second house energy. On June 27th, Mercury moves into Leo, into the second house, where you might have, towards the end of the month, much more inspiration, drive and passion to stand out and strike out and do something. Maybe that you're creating for yourself a new thing in your life. And it proves, it seems to be very good for you. It seems to be very healthy. There seems to be a switch from that unhealthy focus into a more healthier focus, which is all about you. But Cancer, the mid-month there is such empowerment. Maybe coin coming back for the work that you're doing. If you've been working, like if your job involves anything that's healing, caring, nurturing, if you're handling sensitive information or private information, there's a success coming there. If you work in medicine or any of the fields of healing like that, there is some extra coin, it seems, or a reward coming to you, because you've been seen as somebody who can be trusted. So if your work involves a level of needing to be trusted, there is definitely coin coming here. Now I'll say this for the singles, and even, let's focus on the singles first. There could be this brilliant new love that happens around the full moon in Sagittarius. Maybe somebody that you do meet through work, or maybe that you do meet in the gym, or where you're keeping fit, taking care of your health. Or maybe somewhere that you're focused on improving your skills for work. So it could be like a work, upgrading your skills kind of weekend, one of those seminar things. And the singles could meet an absolutely fascinating new person there. Love could be just handed to you in that way. And why not? Of course, they should be throwing themselves at you, Cancer. They really should. But they see you as a lovely, soft, subtle, gentle person. But yet, remember, this is the king, strong at the same time. That's the winning balance, as we touched upon before. Your success and your joy and happiness comes when you can be a leader, but also somebody who is very conscientious, who's able to keep secrets, who's able to have a sense of trustworthiness, and who is somebody that other people feel that they can come to, and that it'll go no further. The information, sensitive information that's shared will go no further. In fact, in work, mid-month, if you do hear sensitive information, even if it does come through gossip, let it go no further. Please, Cancer, have enough dignity in yourself to say, okay, I might have heard this vital piece of information through a shady person, through some gossip, through some bitching, but I'm not going to keep spreading that on. I'm not going to be the messenger for that somewhere else. I'm just going to hold that and watch how that plays out. It's not going to come back on me. I seem to win when I learn that I'm not going to be involved in maybe some work gossip or work drama. No, I'll do what I have to do, but I certainly am not going to perpetuate some shadiness that you see around the time of the full moon. But again, here we see you getting stronger, but there's still a refusal to communicate with somebody. Around mid-month, again, around the time of the full moon, there could be this thing of, again, we touched upon it, you definitely wanting to assert yourself somewhere, wanting to say, this is right, this is what I know, this is what I've learned. I have been taught that this is it and it's fixed in stone. This is my, philosophy. This is what I believe. I believe that this is morally correct, ethically correct in my spirit. Now, while you may be right, if you get all heavy and this is the truth, this is my truth, and this is the only truth, you can be making an absolute mess here. You can be communicating in such a way that people see you as being a bit overbearing. And Cancer, that's not what you want. You don't want that. So all through the cards, there's this strong warning of don't mess up the communication here by saying, well, I don't believe in that because I was brought up to believe this and I've always learned and my college or university education taught me this and my spirituality taught me that. Don't be that person as tempting. And you're saying, I can't imagine me being like that. Wait till mid-month. When you're pushed and painted into a corner, you might come out with that thing and it is not going to work to your advantage. Really, really no, not. And the thing we touched upon a few moments ago too, about you having all your lovely money, all the money maybe that you made last month, and somebody not telling you the whole truth about a situation. Please don't lose your money by somebody trying to sell you something you definitely don't need, but yet they have all the skills to tell it, and you might fall for it. Just wait. Bottom line, don't make any big purchases or lend money to anybody or invest. Really, if you can avoid it, in general, if you can avoid it, just don't be giving out money to anybody for anything this month. Just chill on the spending in every way. But we're coming towards the end of the month and there's exhaustion and the feeling, I don't want to do this work anymore. I don't want to work. There's a full moon in the 6th house this month. And there may be a thing for some of you saying, I can't keep working like this. It's killing me. I've no energy anymore. It has totally depleted me. And all I want to do now, I want to work, but I have nothing left. I have no gasoline left in the tank. And if I try to work now, I'll only be just half-assing it. I just need to take such a huge rest. All I want to be is lazy. My birthday season is coming to me, and for some of you, your birthday will be coming at the end of the month, and it's just the thing of, I've done the work, I've done the hard study, I've done the hard slog, I've pulled all-nighters even in some cases, and the end of the month, no, it has just depleted me. Work is draining you a lot. I have to say that, Cancer, will you please, from the beginning of the month, will you try to pace yourself? And if there are things that you can cancel them. Trim as much as you can off this month. Get streamlined, get organized, and really, if you can, as I said, Cancer, do the bare minimum. Enough that will continue with your work. Do not be taking on any extra things, and don't get all in a frazzle that you feel you have to burn the midnight oil or get up at the crack of dawn to cram some study or to finish some project. Avoid that. You want to be fully rested before we kick off the Cancer season. You know, you owe yourself that. But I see here too, you're emotionally depleted, energetically and emotionally depleted by the end of the month, really. And I also think that somebody is doing this, some situation. There may be a thing, say around June 19th, or even before that, you just feel that people have just gotten the better of you. Situations and people, you know what, bitches, you've won. You've won. You got the better of me. You made me think about you. You made me focus on you. You made me worry about you. You've won. You've won. So that's why I'm giving you the heads up here. If you just focus on yourself and your own projects and the things you're doing, you won't arrive at this point at the end of the month before your birthday of going, well, you got the best of me. What else do you want? You took my energy. You took my time. You took my effort. I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally drained. I am not starting my new year, my Cancer new year, with this vibe. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. And for some of you, there is that thing of really feeling that you just can't give your love anymore to somebody. For some, it could be your partner. Cross-watchers, don't panic. This will be something that would be very obvious if it's you. You know, I don't think Cancer is just going to turn around and say sayonara. It's not like that. It's more like you have just put the last straw on the camel's back with your endless exaggeration of how you see things, your endless lies and your fisherman's tales, spinning me yarns. I'm exhausted with you. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. It's over. And your last card, the Tower. Yeah. Something, you're just done before your birthday kicks off, finished. It's that thing of bye. Around the full moon, I do see, even if you are on your best behavior, I do see unhealthy people spreading maybe unhealthy vibes in your life, toxic vibes, maybe coming from the work that you do. Maybe in general, there's just this thing of, like we touched upon at the start, you sitting back like that maternal or, parental energy of saying, I am willing you to do better. I'm wanting you to do better. I'm giving you the space when everybody else has abandoned you and not trusted you. I'm willing to see the best in you. And at the end you're saying, well, fuck that. When everybody else couldn't see the good in you, I did. And you couldn't turn it around. You couldn't live up to the hopeful expectation I had for you. I had hoped you were bigger and better than that. It turns out you're not. And because of that, it's going to be hard, but I absolutely am demolishing this connection between you and this person, this situation, or this work thing that's going on. I'm demolishing it and starting again. I'm destroying something, maybe even moving away completely, moving. It's almost like there is nothing here for me anymore. I am starting fresh. And you know what? Thank you, Cosmos, because I have Mars in Cancer, the warrior, saying, oh, you need to push with something? I've got your back. You've got Mercury, the intellectual one, the one who can figure shit out no matter what's going on around you, in Cancer. It's the universe supporting you again. You know, you've got the Sun on June 21st going into Cancer. Success. So you're fully supported to absolutely make this big change after a big disappointment that you hoped would be better. But it doesn't feel like a failure, Cancer. It feels like, well, that was all I needed to see. Now you have given me kind of a soul permission to tell you we're done. And you're feeling, I feel it, you're feeling, well, I gave you every chance. Gave you every chance. I can walk away and not feel the slightest bit of remorse. Onwards and upwards to something better. So Cancer, that's intense. You're going to feel it. It is intense. There are some great positive energies here if you're focusing on you and the positive people and everything we discussed. Let that tower fall. Didn't I say at the beginning, they will trip themselves up. The situation will unravel itself, maybe before the month ends. And you'll say, well, I'm glad when that shit fell down that I stood well back. I stood well back when everybody else collapsed. From where I'm looking, from my hilltop far, far away, I'll just sit in my deck chair, you know, with my popcorn, my glass of beer and say, well, I told you. I told you so. So there's a bit of that. Cancer, stay strong this month. Stay in the most positive energy and you'll get the best out of this. And of course, my beautiful, you know that this is just the general landscape. To get into the absolute details of what this big energy seems to be, you know by now to come to the VIMEO readings. And it's all linked down there below in the description box. And we'll pick this out, we'll unravel it and unbox it and see what the hell it is. We'll focus on relationships, we'll focus on love for the singles, we'll focus on money and career, we'll focus on family friend issues, might be a big thing there, and anything else that we really didn't get right into here, we'll open that right up in the VIMEO readings, link down there below. Come along, Cancer, it'd be great to see you there. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm feeling strong for you, Cancer, feeling strong. If you follow the right energy, you'll do great and empowered. So with that, my beautiful, I'm going to leave you as always with all my love. And thank you for coming along again this month. And I'm going to leave you with a big kiss from me to you. Mwah! A pre-birthday kiss. And happy birthday to the June-born babies. Until next month, bye, my gorgeous.